What's up, my fam, mi familia? Today we are going live talking all about tracking macros, flexible dieting, why it is the superior way to achieve your goals, no matter what your goal is. No matter if your goal is fat loss, no matter if your goal is performance, or if your goal is health, no matter what it is, fight me on this one. Tracking macros is the way to go. And we're going to dive into today why that is, why I say that. Because I get a lot of women coming to me afraid of tracking macros. It sounds scary. It looks scary. It seems complicated. There's a lot of math. Like, you're stuck to just eating the same thing. You know what I mean? Whenever I encounter someone who's had a bad experience tracking macros in the past, I say to them, you haven't learned the right way. You didn't learn from the right person. You weren't shown the best way possible to be successful at tracking macros, right? Because it isn't scary. It should never be scary. It's not complicated. Is there some learning to it? Sure, yeah, of course. Just like there is anytime you learn a new skill, right? But the benefits that come with tracking your macros and going all into this flexible lifestyle of dieting or nutrition, like hella outweigh that little bit of uncomfortability, that little bit of learning curve in the beginning. So we're going to dive deep into this today. It's probably going to be a two-parter, per usual. You guys know I love bringing the info for you guys. So let's get started. So tracking macros and flexible dieting is the superior way. In case you couldn't tell by the title of this training, it is the superior way to achieve your goals. Fight me on this. Like, I will take this to the grave, okay? Comparing it to something like a meal plan, right? If you think a meal plan is the way to go to reach your goals, maybe you lost some weight in the past following someone's crazy restrictive meal plan. Okay, well, guess what? Like, anyone can lose weight by eating less food, by restricting, by going into an extreme calorie deficit. And when you purchase these meal plans, they're just like a general template that's being given out to so many people left and right, thousands and thousands of people. You just click that little buy button online and you get the same meal plan as every other person. In order to allow all of those people to achieve weight loss, it's gotta be extreme enough. Right? Because you guys know, if you follow me, every single person's different. Every single person needs something different. Every single person's metabolism is fast, slow, a little bit damaged. They're dealing with something internally, right? So in order to take care of all of those people and make sure all of those people, no matter who you are, you achieve weight loss, it's got to be across the board, extreme, right? Or else you're going to have a lot of people wanting their money back because it didn't work. Right? So when we're comparing tracking macros, flexible dieting to a meal plan, all right, there is absolutely zero education there. First off, zero education when it comes to a meal plan. You get your meal plan, tells you exactly what to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, and that's it. You've got to follow that sucker to a T in order to see your results. Okay? Where's the education? Where's the education on, well, why is this my breakfast? Why is this my lunch? Why is this my dinner? Why did you pick these foods for me? What are these going to do for my body? How are these going to help me lose weight? Right? How are these going to help me be a better athlete or perform better in the gym or get healthy? Like, what is all of this stuff? Why are you telling me to do this? It's just a paper with a plan. Zero education behind any of it. And then also on the flip side, like, what happens if you just get sick of chicken and broccoli every single night for dinner? Are you like doomed to consume that every single night for the rest of your life if you want your fat loss or weight loss goals? Like, what happens if you want to go out for drinks with the girls or go to a birthday party or a wedding or a pizza night with your boyfriend and you don't want to stall your progress or you don't want to ruin anything? Is your meal plan going to tell you and teach you and educate you on how you can do that? Because you absolutely can. But your meal plan won't tell you that. Your meal plan will tell you the only way to be successful is to follow this to a T. There's no variances. There's no messing up. You mess up, you're a failure. And you might as well just like throw out the entire day, throw out the entire week, start all over, right? Flexible dieting is the exact opposite of that. Hey, you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Wave hello as you come in. You guys know the drill. Team, if you're watching team, hashtag team live, hashtag team replay. This is my hashtag sign. Say hello. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about tracking macros and flexible dieting? Are you super comfortable with it? Are you on board? Do you get it? Is it scary? Is it kind of nerve-wracking, a little complicated? Seem tough? I'm about to bust open your eyeballs into the flexible dieting world. So thanks for joining. So if you've had a bad experience with this in the past, like you just aren't learning the appropriate way for you, right? Everybody learns in a different way. Some people absorb information in different ways, okay? Stacy says, it's so hard, girl. It is not so hard. I promise you. There is a little bit of a learning curve in the beginning, right? But if you're learning from the best person possible and in the best way possible, you've got to stick with it. And it gets easier and easier and easier. And the more experiences you go through using tracking your macros and flexible dieting, the better you get at it. Okay? The easier it becomes. All right? Just like with everything, it takes practice. But you're never going to get to that place if you give up and throw in the towel. All right? So you're not learning anything. You're not getting educated, right? You're not understanding what your body fully needs. Okay, we're talking meal plans here. You're not learning about macros, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and how those work in your body. You're not learning how to live your life, like outside of this meal plan. How can you do that and still be successful and handle any situation that you find yourself in? Okay, not to mention, here's my third point. If you have a performance goal, if you have an aesthetic goal, if you have a health goal, okay, specific goals require specific nutrition. If you want to achieve something specific, you've got to do a specific thing. If you want a specific outcome, you've got to have a specific plan. Okay? Don't forget that. All right? And aesthetic goals, health goals, performance goals, those all require a different plan, a different protocol, different macros. Okay? So it's not just a one size fits all. It's not just like track your macros and suddenly you look amazing, you're healthy, and you're the best, athlete in the gym. Girlfriend. Doesn't happen like that. And that's why it's so unbelievably important to track your macros so you know what you're doing and what you need to do. Okay? So I come across this a lot. Women just think that if you're tracking your macros, you've got to eat the same thing every single day. You're just stuck with it. Can't go out to eat because it's scary, it's complicated, there's math, you don't know how to handle it. So because you don't know and it's scary, you just avoid it and you say, I can't do that. So then you put yourself in this like little bitty prison of a bubble, right? But that's the whole point of becoming a flexible dieter. That's the whole point of tracking macros and getting away from meal plans or just slashing calories in general so that you can live your life. So that you can eat out and enjoy yourself, right? And allow for whatever it might be. Events, weddings, girls' nights, vacations. You can allow for these things and know how to handle them. All right? Flexible dieting, if you do it well, if you learn it well, and you get the practice and you get the experience, allows freedom in your life. It gives you your life back. If you've been living for years and years and years afraid of these things, afraid of eating what you want to eat, afraid of going out, afraid of being social, it gives you that back. It gives you that power back. You're now in control as long as you are tracking what you're eating and you've got that data and you know what's going down. I'm going to get into why that is here in a second. Okay, so macros, if you know them and you practice them, give you freedom. They give you your life back. They give you that flexibility, okay? You are always in control as long as you're tracking it and you see what you're working with, you see the numbers, you know what to do, right? You know how to make adjustments and you know what you got to do to continue your success, to continue towards your goal. So if you are not tracking anything and you're just eating with wild abandon and maybe you're trying to avoid seeing what you're actually doing. You're avoiding tracking it because if you didn't track it, it didn't happen, right? I get that a lot with clients. Or maybe you're ashamed of what you did. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter what you ate. It does not matter. As long as you track it, we can fix it. Okay, we can make the necessary adjustments in order for you to continue moving forward. Okay, but the key is that you have to track it no matter what it was. Okay, and it's that structure. It's committing to that no matter what you're consuming, no matter how bad you think it is because you've been living off this meal plan that's telling you anything else is bad, you still have to track it. And we can use that data to make the necessary adjustments after the fact. Y'all, this is where the freedom comes from. That structure gives you that freedom. Y'all think about it. Like when we're talking school, jobs, your household, finances, those all require some type of structure, right? Like if we want to get out of debt, or save up for some vacation or whatever it is, we have a financial goal for ourselves. We've got to have some type of structure. We put in place a budget, right? Structure equals freedom. Structure gets you to where you want to be. And then it teaches you, say we're working with a budget, living inside that budget teaches you how you should be living, where your money should be going, how to scale back on the spending, right? Because you have to. And then that teaches you what that looks like, what that feels like, so that once you do reach your financial goal and you don't necessarily need to follow that financial budget anymore, you still do those same things. You still live that same way, right? I hope that's making sense here. You still do those same habits, do those same behaviors so that you can continue financial success and you never end up back where you were, okay? Because you've learned what living within your means looks and feels like and the habits and the behaviors that come with it, right? Same thing with tracking. You're getting that education on what a proper nutrition looks like, okay? Balanced nutrition, what that looks like, right? You now see and feel what the appropriate amount of protein looks like for your individual body, what the appropriate amount of carbohydrates looks like for your individual body, what the appropriate amount of fats looks like for your individual body, okay? And by tracking these amounts and these numbers and seeing the numbers and saying, oh, I need a little bit more, oh, I need a little bit less, you now know what that looks like, what that feels like day to day. And you're learning these new habits and these behaviors in order to reach those numbers so that when you're not tracking, you can still live that same way. You can still follow those same habits and behaviors and know what enough protein on your plate looks like, know what enough carbs looks like or too much, right? And so you can still follow a balanced nutrition plan without having to track all the time. So it's not something that you ever have to be chained to for the rest of your life. It's just a tool to use to learn, to educate yourself, okay? Everyone says calories are king. I hear that all the time. It's just the calories. It's all about calories in, calories out. Calories are king when it comes to weight loss. When it comes to weight loss, okay, sure, that might be true. You just want to see the number on that scale go down and you don't care about anything else, all right? But I am not the weight loss expert, y'all. Check out my Instagram bio. I am the fat loss expert. Completely different. Two completely different concepts, two completely different protocols, okay? Like I said in the beginning, you have a specific goal and your specific goal is weight loss. Or I'm sorry, fat loss. That didn't work out the way I wanted it. Really wanted that oomph there. Your specific goal is fat loss. You've got to follow a specific way of eating, a specific type of nutrition, okay? And that comes with macros, specific macros. Carbohydrates, protein, and fats every single day, okay? You can lose weight from dropping calories, but I know that you don't just want to lose weight. You have aesthetic goals. You want to achieve fat loss, and you want to look a certain way, and you want to be confident in your body and like what you see in the mirror. That's fat loss, okay? And that requires certain things. Okay, same for if you have a performance-based goal. If you have a performance-based goal, you've got to eat certain amount of protein, certain amount of carbs, certain amount of fats. And you don't know if you're achieving those amounts unless you're looking at it, y'all, unless you're tracking it. How do you know if you're getting enough? Or maybe you're getting too much? You don't, unless you have that data in front of you, that hard data to look off. Same thing with health goal. If you're battling some health problems, whether they're hormone problems, gut problems, you've got to start eating a certain way. And unless you're tracking that food, how do you know if you're doing enough or doing too little or doing too much? You don't. Okay? Specific goals require specific ways of eating. Do you know what enough protein looks like for you? For your specific individual body? Do you know what that looks like every single day, in every single meal, on every single plate? Would you be able to achieve that goal, that exact goal, without tracking everything? Just crossing your fingers, and by the end of the day, you hit that number? Probably not. Do you even know what an actual tablespoon of peanut butter looks like? Because I sure don't. I never have. If you asked me to go get an exact teaspoon of peanut butter, I would not be able to. I'd scoop out like half the whole jar. You know what I'm talking about, right? Anybody else? That's me, okay? And that's what tracking macros and flexible dieting teaches you, okay? By making sure that you're hitting this number, you now know what a teaspoon of peanut butter looks like. You now know what enough protein in your day looks and feels like. When you go out to eat, you know how much to order, right? It's teaching you balance. It's teaching you portions. It's teaching you what a plate should look like. How many vegetables, how many carbs, how much protein, how much fat you need to order at a restaurant. Right? It's that education piece. It teaches you. Okay? Meal plans don't do that. Meal plans tell you, just eat this, not that. They give you a huge laundry list of foods to avoid, of bad foods. Don't eat this. Only these things over here on your meal plan. Y'all, that's what started all of this for me. I was just meal plan after meal plan after meal plan for my whole life. And I just could not do it. I could not eat all of that stuff on those bad lists of foods. It was just insanity. I was a failure every single day of my life. Who wants to go through that? Who wants to experience that? So at that point, it's just like, give up. What is the point? You can't do this. I thought this meal plan was fit. I thought this meal plan was healthy. I've got to do this to be healthy and fit. And that was such a huge lie. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. But there's just, at that point, it's like, what's the point? You cannot stick to this. You might be able to do it for a few days, and that's it. Let alone the rest of your life. Wouldn't you rather learn proper education, proper nutrition for the rest of your life? Not just however long you can stick to this extreme meal plan. Because then what? When you can't stick to it anymore, then what do you do? Where do you go? How do you eat? You have no idea, right? Like I said, it may seem daunting at first, but it really truly isn't. You have to give it a chance. You have to give it some time in order to get the experience and the practice under your belt, right? And then suddenly you cross this line and poof, you're just off to the races. It's so easy. It's just like second nature to you. But you've got to get through that, push through that to get to that place. All right, I'm going to run through some of my favorite benefits of tracking macros and flexible dieting outside of what I just told you. I'm really good at going off on tangents and getting ahead of myself. Number 1, knowing exactly what you're eating, what's going into your body, and what's affecting you how. Maybe you start to learn what is giving you energy, what's giving you the most energy day to day. Or maybe what's, leading to these crashes at 3 p.m. We can figure that out real quick because you're tracking everything, right? Or maybe what's giving you some, indigestion, or you're having trouble with bloating. We figure that out real quick because we're tracking everything, no matter what it is. We've got this hard data. It's not about what it is. It's not about the decision that you made. There is zero guilt or shame here. It's just needing the information, needing the data. And that's it. So we can learn from it. Okay? It will show you if you're undereating, if you're overeating, what you're undereating, what you're overeating. Okay? Because would you know that otherwise? Could you just go through your day eating whatever you wanted, not tracking anything, and by the time your head hits the pillow at night, you just know, I underate carbohydrates today. I way overate fat today. And I definitely didn't have enough protein. Would you be able to tell yourself that? No, nobody can. Well, I shouldn't say that. If you do it long enough, you can. Fat, for example, no matter how healthy the fat is that you're consuming, how many avocados or olive oil, like fat is fat. And it is highly calorically dense. Yes, we want healthy fats, but you can still overconsume them. Okay, and you could still be consuming way too much energy for your body. And that's where you put on weight. Okay? And fats will get you because a little bit, like that peanut butter, just a tiny bit, has a crap ton of calories. Okay? But you wouldn't know that you're eating too much and it's the peanut butter to scale back if you weren't tracking. Okay? So it teaches you how your body responds to different things. Okay? It teaches you how your body responds to different amounts of food. Not just the types of food. We increase carbohydrates next week. We just sit back and watch, see what happens. Trial and error, right? Oh, that was great. That was a good move. Let's do that some more. Or, oh, goodness, we don't like that response. Let's pull back from that. Try something else, right? It's that education from the data and the information that you're logging that teaches us so much about ourselves, okay? So it allows you to really understand your body fully. Number 2, it allows you to find holes in your diet. Okay? You discover your deficiencies. You discover what vitamins and minerals you're missing, okay? Or what food groups. I'm not eating enough vegetables because I can see that right here. It's telling me, my logs, everything that I'm tracking. Where are these vegetables? I'm not eating them. Okay, I need to change that, right? We will never know what we need to change if we need to go left, right, up, down, if we don't know what we're doing. And we'll never know what we're doing if we're not tracking it and logging, okay? So it doesn't lie. If you're tracking everything you're doing, it does not lie. It teaches you. It shows you. You've got a balanced diet or you don't. You have a horrifically unbalanced diet. And this is what you need to work on. You got to go left. Okay? Because everybody's different. Everybody's different. You might need to go left, but Susan in accounting needs to go right. Not everybody needs the exact same thing. Not everybody should be following the same meal plan. Okay? So it shows you if you have a balanced diet or not. Are you getting enough fiber, y'all? Probably not. Fiber's a huge one. It's been a huge topic with a lot of my clients lately. Fiber. Can you tell me for certain, 100% without a doubt, you are consuming enough fiber if you're not tracking your macros or what you're eating? Because you're not. No, you can't tell me that. And no, I don't even have to guess. You definitely are not getting enough. That's for sure. All right. So fiber is a huge one. Vegetables, fiber, okay, vitamins, minerals. If you're vegan or vegetarian, y'all, the only way to know if you're getting enough protein in your diet is to log it. And so it can really, really help out if you're following a vegan or vegetarian-based diet, because that's going to be super, super important, especially if you have aesthetic goals, if you have performance goals or health goals, and you're a vegan or vegetarian. How much you're eating of food groups, of macros, of micros is going to be unbelievably important, okay? Now, it allows, number 3, for flexibility. All right, here's the best one. It allows you to go out, enjoy yourself. Have something that you love. Go to dinner, go on a date, order in, go to a wedding, whatever it might be. Allows you to go out, be social, have some alcohol. Okay? As long as you collect that data of what you did and what you consumed, you can wake up the next morning and make some adjustments for your day. Yesterday, I didn't get in enough carbohydrates. So today, I'm going to eat some extra. Yesterday, I ate too much fat going out at that restaurant. So today, I'm going to have a little bit less. Or I definitely didn't hit my protein goal. So I'm going to make sure that happens today, right? So it allows you to make adjustments in the rear. And you know, by tracking your macros, exactly what those adjustments need to be. Like down to the gram, y'all. All right? You wouldn't be able to know that otherwise. Okay? So that's why it allows for freedom, flexibility. You can go out and have what you want to have and enjoy yourself and still be able to reach your goals. All right? Make adjustments, course correct yourself, and continue moving forward. No longer do you have to throw in the towel for the day or for the week just because of something you consumed. That's why no matter what it is, you just need the data. You've got to log it. There's no shame or guilt. There's no emotion tied to your decisions. You just need the data, okay? And there's no restriction list, you guys. Nothing is off limits. You don't have to live by these good and bad lists. There are no lists. How amazing is that? Total, complete freedom. As long as you're hitting your goals. As long as you're eating enough protein, enough carbs, and enough fat. Okay? You can have what you want. You can have what you need. And you can also just have whatever you're able to have. Like say, 3 weeks ago or however long it was, Snowmageddon here in DFW, we had no electricity. We had no running water, no refrigeration. We couldn't eat the food that we had. Grocery stores are shut down. The only thing available was a tiny little gas station corner store. None of that stuff, I guarantee you, in that corner store would ever find itself on a meal plan. Okay? But because flexibility because of macros. I could consume what I was able to consume without the guilt, without the shame, without the anxiety or fear that I was ruining anything or straying away from my goals, because I could do what I needed to do what I was able to do, and make adjustments later and keep moving forward, right? So you get to eat what you want, you get to eat what you need, you get to eat what you're able to eat in those certain situations where things are just out of your control, right? And you're still moving forward no matter what. Pizza, ice cream, y'all, I even have a client of mine. She's so cute. She just sent in her check-in last week telling me that she's had a Big Mac for the first time in years. Oh, she was ecstatic. I have another client that was telling me this week it was Peeps for her. She's enjoying some Peeps because that's her favorite thing, and she hasn't allowed herself to have Peeps in years. And then the week before, it was Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms. And just being able to start incorporating those into her life again has just brought so much fulfillment and so much joy and happiness into her life. It's one of her favorite things in the world, and she never allowed herself to have that before. And now she can. Not only does it fit in our macros, but if for any reason on one day it didn't, she knows that she can still make some adjustments and make it work, right? So by allowing this flexibility, by allowing yourself to have these foods that you love, guess what else you're allowing to happen? You're staying consistent and compliant to your plan, to your program. The only way to reach your goal, to get from A to B, is to stay consistent and stay compliant long term. Okay? There's no more white knuckling. There's no more just like insane amounts of willpower required, because you're happy and you're eating the things that you want. You love this program. You love this plan. There's nothing that you can't do or have. So you're going to stick to it. You're going to stick to it a lot longer, which means you're actually going to achieve your goal finally, right? Because you're happier. You're just a happier human. And this does not mean like go eat like an asshole tomorrow, okay? And just go blow your weekend. Eat all the junk food, right? It doesn't. It means you learn proper nutrition, and you know what makes you feel good, and you know what doesn't, you know what you need. And when you understand what you need and what you thrive with, okay, what your body loves and requires, your decisions start to align with your goals. You don't want to go out and eat all that junk because you get it. There's that education piece. You understand what your body wants, truly, truly wants, okay? But every now and then, if you want a donut, you understand that it's also not going to break the bank, right? It's not going to ruin anything. And you understand how to handle that situation. Also, because there are no foods that you cannot have, nothing is off limits. It's very psychological, right? Food is very psychological for all of us. It allows you to have these things, right? Zero guilt, shame, emotion, whatever, and still reach your goals, still move forward. But by having them, you feel it. You feel that maybe this doesn't make you feel so great. You feel that maybe this depletes your energy or does something crazy and wonky to your blood sugar. You just feel like crap. Maybe it messes up your digestion. So now you know that. So now it's not your favorite thing anymore. You just have no desire for it. It's lost its luster. It's lost its, shiny object syndrome. It's not exciting anymore. And you don't care for it. When before it was off limits, it's very psychological. Now that's all you can think about. Now that's all you want. No matter how awful it is for your body or makes you feel, that's what you go to when it's time to binge. When you've got a free night. When you're not on that meal plan. When you're taking the day or a week off. You just go ham on all this trash, basically. And no matter how bad it makes you feel, it's just psychologically gives you that hit that you need. That it's like a dopamine rush because you've done something bad. You've done something off limits. You've done something that's been, off the table for you for so long. And then you go back to that meal plan and you white knuckle your way until, the next weekend, and you do it again. No matter how bad it makes you feel, you keep going back to it. Now, finally, you're able to have it. Zero emotion. It's lost its luster. You don't even care about it anymore. You know that it doesn't make you feel that great, so you just don't even want it. Okay? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Y'all, this is an amazing technique. And I just kind of touched on it a little bit before. Making those adjustments, right? Having what you want. Going out. Going on a date. Or, having an anniversary dinner. Going to the movies. Whatever it is. Having a girls' night. Going on vacation. Whatever it is. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Making those adjustments after the fact, right? So maybe you've got to rob the next day with a little bit of fat, a little bit of carbs to allow for what you want. But then the next day, you've got to make those adjustments and eat a little bit less, okay? That's what that means. It's a little bit of a technique, have in your back pocket, that flexible dieting and macros allows you to do, okay? So it's when you're, over on something, you go a little bit less. Or if you're under on something, you go a little bit more the following day. Number 4, it allows for better performance in the gym. Who does not want that? I do. That's what I'm here for. Dialing in your macros allows for better nutrition, better recovery, the best possible energy in your workout. Y'all are always going to be on top of the leaderboard. Y'all are always going to be having all the PRs every time you go in there because you're fueling enough. You're able to fully recover from your workout. You're building muscle and strength, and you have the energy to just go to the gym. What if you just don't even have the energy to get up, zero motivation to even step foot in that thing? Making sure that you're consuming the appropriate macros and hitting those macros gives you that energy. Makes you excited. Because suddenly you're seeing progress. Now you want to go to the gym. Now you're motivated to go to the gym. Now you've got a little bit of a pep in your step when you're there, right? Number 5, it allows you to create a personalized macro plan or nutrition plan, okay? You may not even need to change the amount of calories that you're eating. You may not even need to eat less food. You could just adjust your macros and poof, you're off to the races. Poof, you're achieving all your goals. Poof, your body's changing. You're achieving fat loss just by simple macro tweaks. And that's individual to you, right? Susan in accounting had to drop 500 calories in order to achieve this meal plan, right? And nail this meal plan that she bought online in order to see results. But you don't have to do that. Macros allow for that individuality in your nutrition because not everybody needs the exact same thing. Some people need to eat less food. Some people don't. Some people just need better macros. Some people need to eat more food. You don't know what you need. That's where a coach comes in. That's where a coach comes in to get your appropriate macros for you. But your go-to is always this 1,200 calorie meal plan. And that might not even be what you need. What if you didn't need to eat 1,200 calories? What if you could achieve your goal at 1,800 calories? Mind blown, y'all. That would be amazing, right? Life changing. It happens a lot with my clients. Okay? So you might not even need to eat less food. You could just do a simple macro tweak. That's why macros are amazing, because they do different things to your body, right? All right, I've been on here long enough. I've been taking up enough of y'all's time. I'm going to hop on here tomorrow, and we're going to dive into tips, tricks, common mistakes I see when tracking macros, and just where to start. Like, if you're not tracking macros yet and it's a little overwhelming and you just feel like you don't know what you're doing, I'm going to tell you exactly where to start and how to get off on the right and best foot. My best tips and tricks, the most common mistakes I see when people are tracking macros and how to avoid them. All right? So make sure you tune into that tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.